Federations Cup have been made by the Nigeria Football Federation, the round of 64 for male and the round of 32 for male. We will give you the fixtures on the show. Also, we'll be talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League. The NPFL enters match day 15. It is this weekend, and Rangers International of Enugu playing at the Oka City Stadium will be on the road to Dakada FC. Also on the show, Kenya Football Federation wants a new laws to criminalize some offense, and Daniel Levi insists that Hurricane can win major trophies at Tottenham Hotspur. We also have a Formula One news, tennis, athletics will also feature in the news, and Europa League results and league fixtures across Western Europe happening this weekend. It all begins with tonight. Some matches to be played in Germany and France, and also in England. We'll talk about that on the sports show. Now, let's get to our first story. Our first story is about the Nigeria Professional Football League, the NPFL. The NPFL enters match day 15 across the country across the country this weekend. As you can see on your screen, Enyimba International FC is expected to take on Remo Stars. Elsewhere, Bendel Insurance will host the El Kanemi Warriors. Is Plateau United at the Jos New Stadium expected to host the Nasarawa United. Nasarawa United, remember, they play also at the Jos New Stadium, is the adopted ground. Akwa United at the Next of Champions Stadium, Godswill Akpabio International Stadium will take on Kwara United, and the Shooting Stars expected to take on Gombe United. In Group B, Doma United will take on Bayelsa United. Doma United is from Borno, while Wiki Tourist of Bauchi at the ATS is expected to host the defending champions Rivers United. Told you that Rangers International will be on the road, and a confirmation of that Dakada FC is the team that they will be playing. Niger Tornadoes will trade tackles with Abia Warriors, while last but not the least is the match between Sunshine Stars and the Lobby Stars. So those are the fixtures for the Nigeria Professional Football League 4 coming up at this weekend, and Rangers International is expected to be in action on the road to Dakada FC. And Rangers International, when they come back, they will play at the Oka City Stadium, and that's next weekend against the Niger Tornadoes of Amina. So we wish most of the teams are going away all the best, and the teams playing home equally all the best, but our emphasis will be on the game between Dakada FC and Rangers International, while we expect our own Flying Antelopes to go out there at Akwa Ibom and get at least a point on the road in the Nigeria Professional Football League. And you know they did that a fortnight ago against the Sunshine Stars in Akure, and I believe Rangers International can replicate that form once again and get at least a point on the road in when they take on Dakada FC in the Nigeria Professional Football League match day 15 action. Now, let's also talk about something else about Rangers International. Yes, Rangers International are angling and doing everything possible to get into the play in the Niger Super 8, the maiden edition of the Niger Super 8 are coming up later. It's a program of the Nigeria Football Federation and some organizers, as you can see, and Rangers International will be on the road this weekend as they prepare for the match against Dakada FC. But the Flying Antelopes are also jostling for a place in the upcoming Niger Super 8 tournament. To all the esteemed fans of Rangers International FC, I'm sure you would love to see your darling team participate in the upcoming Super 8 football tournament. And to enable Rangers International do that, all you have to do is to log on to www.nigersuper8.ng. Select a Southeast, select Rangers International Football Club, and vote for our dear Rangers International. There are interesting packages which includes an all-expense paid trip to watch the team play live for the duration of the tournament. That's talking about the upcoming Niger Super 8, and the voting is expected to end on Wednesday, the 10th of May, 2023. So please start voting right now. All you have to do now is to log on to the website at www.nigersuper8.ng, select Southeast and select Rangers International in bracket RIFC, and vote for Rangers International to be part of the Niger Super 8. It's the maiden edition. The Nigeria Football Federation and the league organizers are putting this one up for the very first time. The Niger Super 8, ENFF, NFF, and the Interim Management Committee, who are the organizers of the Nigeria Professional Football League, the NPFL. And Rangers International wants to play in the Niger Super 8, and all you have to do is to log on to that site at nigersuper8onewatch.ng, and then select a Southeast at the geopolitical zone. Go and see Rangers International, then equally vote Rangers International for them to have the opportunity to play in the upcoming Niger Super 8. So that's the story about Rangers International, and they are pleading to their fans to do the needful on that front, to vote them simply by going to www.nigersuper8.ng, select a Southeast and select Rangers International and vote for them to have the opportunity to play in the upcoming Super 8 competition. Away from Rangers International, still have to come back to them when we'll talk about the fixtures. But this time around, let's talk about the Federations Cup. Yes, and the ITO Federations Cup, and Nigeria's only remaining flag bearers in the African club competitions this year. Rivers United will face Enyimba International in what is the indisputable star match of the round of 64 of this year's Federations Cup, and the pride of Rivers of host Tanzania's Young Africans in the first leg of the CAF Confederations Cup fixture in Uyo on Sunday, and will then have to clash with Enyimba International as a vintage preparatory match for the return leg in Dar es Salaam. After the draw held in the NFF Secretariat, and that was some 3 days back, Akwa United were drawn to play Wiki Tourist of Bauchi in another big game, just as multiple title winners Rangers International FC will take on Adamawa United. Now you're seeing the fixtures on your screen. Let's keep that fixtures. Jama United, the one you're seeing now is for the ladies. We'll go, I will show you that off, and the male shortly. There are two graphics that you see coming up shortly after the pictures, and then we'll serve you that one. So let's check out what the fixture now is. The fixtures now. Let's reel out the fixtures for you. Heartland FC is expected to take on Jedo FC of Sokoto. Elsewhere is Bayelsa United hosting Estian IE FC of Cross River. Hudia FC of Abia will take on Jigawa Golden Stars of Jigawa. ABS FC of Akwara will take on Bendel Insurance FC of Edo. Standard FC of Kaduna is expected to trade tackles with Ekiti United of Ekiti. FC Bashira of Nasarawa will play Sunshine Stars in Ondo. Sunshine Stars of Ondo, I beg your pardon. EFCC FC of FCT will take on Katukan Safi FC of Zamfara. Wiki Tourist of Bauchi will play Akwa United FC. Warri Wolves is expected, Warri Wolves of Delta is expected to take on Beyond Limit FC of Ogun State. In other fixtures, 3SC of Oyo will take on Damimogo FC of Ondo. Mighty Jets of Plateau will take on Niger Tornadoes Feeders of Niger. Watch out for Malum Fashi FC of Castina, expected to trade tackles with Gombe United of Gombe. Oshun United of Oshun will play Castina United in Castina. Bendel Insurance will play Bendel Insurance Feeders of Edo will play Maikunkele FC of Niger, while Sinosho FC of Ebony is expected to lock horns with Kano Pillars Junior of Kano. Lobby Stars of Benue will take on FC1 Rockets of Akwa Ibom. Jama United of Zamfara will play Plateau United of Plateau. Rivers United of Rivers, I told you, will take on Enyimba International FC. That's a star match of around 64 of the FA Cup, of the Federations Cup. Ingas FC of Enugu will play Novie FC of Adamawa. El Kanemi Warriors is that will take El Kanemi Warriors of Borno will take on the Cardinal FC of Rivers. Nasarawa United of Nasarawa will take on Kebi United of Kebi. DMDFC of Borno is expected to take on ABJFC of Bauchi. Ikorodu City of Lagos will take on Crusader FC of Bayelsa. Gateway United of Ogun will play Kwara United. FC Ebede of Ekiti will play Hope of Glory FC of Cross River. Yobe Desert Stars of Yobe will take on Ebajo FC of Oshun, and Adamawa United will take on Rangers International. So Rangers International is playing Adamawa United. Elaji FC of Oyo will take on Kano Pillars of Kano. Green Berets FC of Kaduna will take on Bunuja FC of Imo. Ozala FC of Anambra State is expected to take on Doma United. Ozala FC is the champions of the Federations Cup in Anambra State, and they will be playing Doma United of Gombe, while Kogi United Feeders will play Kogi United feeders will play Edel FC of Anambra. Mailantaki FC will take on Kogi United. So for the Anambra team, Ozala FC will take on Doma United, while Edel FC will take on Kogi United feeders. Now for the female, let's talk about the female version of the FA Cup. There will be 16 matches now, as shown on your screen. Bayelsa United, Bayelsa Queens of Bayelsa will take on Maureen Madu, KFC of Anambra. Aqua Angels will take on Danzaz Ladies of Lagos. Owo Itan FC of Akwa Ibom will take on Fortress FC of Edo. Honey Badgers of Benue will take on Kada FC of Kaduna. Heartland Queens will take on Confluence Queens of Kogi. Lakeside FC of Ogun is expected to play Kwara Ladies. And Sunshine Queens is expected to play Edo Queens. Maureen Madu FC of Abia will take on Greenfoot of Enugu. FC Robo of Lagos will play Immaculata FC of Enugu. First Ma FC of Imo will take on Royal Queens of Delta. Watch out for Nasarawa Amazons, expected to take on Gallant FC of Kaduna. Nigeria Tales of FC will take on Adamawa Queens of Adamawa. Rivers Angels will take on Golden Sons FC of Bayelsa. Oshun Babes of Oshun will take on Oka Angels of Anambra, while Ekiti Queens will take on Mojo Queens. And last but not the least, Paul EFC, based in the FCT, is expected to take on Delta Queens, and they will have their work cut out. That's talking about Paul EFC. When you think about Delta Queens, a team always informed and doing their business so well. So those are the fixtures for the Federations Cup. Matches will be played on Wednesday. For the male, it will be played on Wednesday. That's on Wednesday, the 26th of April. And let me inform you that Oka City Stadium will be hosting the round of 64 of the Federations Cup. There will be 3 matches at the Oka City Stadium. The first one will start by 12. There is a second match by 2 o'clock and the third match by 4 o'clock. So Oka City Stadium will be hosting the NFF ITO Federations Cup, a round of 64 matches come this Wednesday. So when you get into Oka City Stadium from 12 o'clock, you can watch football for free from 12 to 6 o'clock and see the best of Nigerian football. That's on Wednesday. Then on Friday, we'll have the female version of the FA Cup being played across the nation. And be sure we'll keep you posted in Sports Bulletin as regards the results of these matches, be it the round of 64 for male or the round of 32 for female for the NFF ITO Federations Cup. Let's leave the ITO Federations Cup and talk about league football in Nigeria. The Nigeria Football Federation has reiterated that the interim management committee of the Nigeria Premier Football League, it should be the NPFL, headed by Honorable Wenga Elebweleye, will be allowed to remain in office and conclude its mandate before any decision can be taken on a board for the NPFL. This much was explained yesterday by the president of the NFF, Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusso, and he said, and I quote, "Let me once more commend the IMC for the great job it is doing to reposition the elite division of our domestic league. We are enamored by the way and manner the board has gone about its mandate, and everyone can see the transparency, probity, and seriousness that the members have attached to their tasks. The IMC will remain in office to complete their tenure as extended by the NFF a couple of months ago. Afterwards, the NFF Executive Committee will meet to decide on the best way forward. However, new boards of the Nigeria National League, the Nigeria Women Football League, and the Nigeria Nationwide League One will be constituted within the next 1 month, and 1 month, Aguse stated. It can be recalled that on the 21st of October 2022, the Interim Management Committee, the IMC, was inaugurated by the NFF president with an initial mandate of 3 months and a number of terms of reference aimed at engendering a new lease of life for Nigeria's elite division. And you will quite agree with me that the IMC under Wenge Elebweleye with their Chief Operating Officer Davison Owumi are doing the needful in terms of bringing the elite league to where it should be right now and taking it to the next level. So kudos to them for what they are doing in terms of bringing some level of transformation, accountability, and probity as regards running the Nigeria Premier League, the NPFL, being organized by the Interim Management Committee. And there's a lot of good stories are coming through this season. Now, referees go for matches and they are paid their indemnities immediately, match assessors, match commissioners also. And that's not only applicable to the Nigeria Professional Football League, it has also transcended to the second tier of our club football, which is at the Nigeria National League. Now, before matches or immediately after matches, referees and referees that's composed of the referees, the assistant referees, the fourth officials, match commissioners, and match referees, assessors all get their indemnities immediately after the game. So it's an improvement at this season in what used to be in Nigeria football, Nigeria club football circles, and we say kudos to all those ensuring that they dot the I's and cross the T's in terms of getting Nigerian football to the next level. Now let's talk about this Nigerian Victor Osimhen. He's always been in the news week in, week out. Victor Osimhen, almost on the bulletin all the time. We'll see Victor Osimhen coming in there. Let's tell you that with Victor Osimhen linked with a big money transfer at the end of the 2022-2023 season, Chelsea legend Didier Drogba suggested that moving to PSG will be the wrong move in his budding career. Having scored 26 times in 31 games this season, Victor Osimhen is one of Europe's most desired attackers and is believed to be on the radar of clubs such as Manchester United, Chelsea, and Paris Saint-Germain. Regarding the latter, Drogba mentioned that while PSG's interest is an indication of his talent, moving to Ligue 1 football might be the wrong step in his career. Also, it is believed that United are one of the frontrunners to sign the African star, with a move to the Premier League being deemed a dream move for Victor Osimhen. So let's watch out for that. But we know that Manchester United, Chelsea, and PSG have expressed interest in the signatures of the Napoli forward Victor Osimhen. So it's now left for Victor Osimhen to decide where he wants to further his pastures and to be anew. And that's the story of Victor Osimhen. If he signs for Manchester United, Chelsea, or PSG, be sure we'll fill you in on our regular sports show. And away from that, let's go to the continent and go to Kenya. Kenya has been in the news for the wrong reasons, be it athletics and be it football. But this time around, it's about their football, and Kenya Football Federation has asked the country's parliament to approve laws that criminalize match fixing. The request follows an investigation where multiple players and officials were suspended earlier this year. Football Kenya Federation FKF President Nick Wendwa believes that the absence of our local laws to address the issue has led to a rise in cases. At the hearing of the Sports and Culture Committee, Wendwa told the members of parliament and the media who have cases where individuals are suspected of match fixing are arrested and presented in a court of law, only for the cases to be dismissed for lack of legislative provisions to deal with and the problem, he said. And Wendwa added that inadequate financial resources at both club and federation level means teams and match officials can become vulnerable to match-fixing gangs, stating this was particularly true while the FKF was under a suspension handed out by the government over an alleged misappropriation of funds. In 2019, FIFA demanded a full investigation into claims that several men's international matches had been fixed, including a 2010 World Cup qualifier. Efforts by the FKF to clean up at the game follow a recent comment by former Kenya captain and Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Victor Wanyama, where he told the media he would not agree to return to the national team until those running the game showed more professionalism. That's some revelation coming through from Victor Wanyama. But Nick Wendwa wants to rewrite the story of Kenyan football, and he wants legal action, some legal provisions to be made available for those that are guilty of using performance performance-enhancing drugs in Kenya out there. Now, Kenyan football now being in the news for the wrong reasons. It used to be athletics. At some point in time, over the past couple of months, we had as much as 18 athletes from Kenya, all failing dope tests and being banned from performing or featuring in some other sports competition, especially track and field. Now, football is also bearing its brunt, but we hope Nick Wendwa will get all the required support from the government and all the funds that he wants to nip issues concerning match fixing and drugs in the boat out there in Kenya. Now, let's talk about Formula One. Michael Schumacher is in the news, and Michael Schumacher's family planning legal action against a magazine which published an artificial intelligence-generated interview with a former Formula One driver. And Schumacher, a 7-time Formula One champion, suffered severe head injuries in a skiing accident, and that was in December 2013, and has not been seen in public since then. And Dia Actuella ran a picture of a smiling Schumacher, 54 years of age, as you can see on your screen, on the front cover of its latest edition with the headline, Michael Schumacher, the first interview. And the family have confirmed to news agencies that they are planning to pursue a matter legally. And the magazine's publishers are told that the media, they will not be commenting on the issue. Following his skiing accident, Schumacher was placed into an induced coma and was brought home in September 2014 with his medical condition since kept private by his family. Schumacher won 2 of his Formula One drivers' titles with Benetton in 1994 and 1995, while he claimed 5 in a row for Ferrari, and that was between 2000 to 2004. His 7 F1 titles is a record share jointly with Lewis Hamilton, while Schumacher achieved 91 race wins over his career record. Hamilton surpassed in 2020. The German originally retired from racing, and that was in 2006. But returned in 2010 before again retiring 2 years later. Michael Schumacher's son Mick used to drive for Haas in Formula One and is currently a reserve driver for Mercedes. So that's the story about Michael Schumacher and the publication made by that newspaper, and they want to take legal action on that one. Moving away from Michael Schumacher, let's talk about tennis news. British number 1 Cameron Norrie was beaten in the last 16 of the Barcelona Open, we can tell you, by Italian Lorenzo Musetti. And 7th seed Norrie, 27 years of age, controlled at the first set and had openings in a tight second, but Musetti fought back to win 3-6, 4-6, 6-1 in the clay court event. Musetti, the 21-year-old world number 20, has achieved his best career results on clay and beat Novak Djokovic at the Monte Carlo Masters last week in a run to the quarterfinals. That run was extended, or rather ended, by compatriot Yannick Sinner, who he will face again in the quarterfinals in Barcelona. And Sinner beat Japanese 16 seed Yoshito Nishioka in 3 sets, while second seed Stefanos Tsitsipas eased past Canada's Denis Shapovalov 6-3, 6-3. Meanwhile, the Bavarian international in Munich, Alexander Zverev, was beaten 7-6, 6-4 by Australian world number 82 Christopher O'Connell. So that's the story coming through from tennis. Let's move away from tennis. Let's talk about a bit of athletics on the show. As London Marathon, we anticipate, and London Marathon's race director has received unique assurances from Extinction Rebellion over Saturday's planned protest, while talks are due to take place in Just Stop Oil members. And Hai Basha said that positive discussions with Extinction Rebellion had taken place in recent months, but he admitted he did not know whether Just Stop Oil would adopt a similar position before a meeting on Wednesday. And Brasha added mitigation measures that were in place should they be required at that point. And quickly to some football news right now. Let's go to London, White Hart Lane, the home of Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy has said that striker Harry Kane can achieve his ambitions and win trophies at the club. Harry Kane, 29 years of age, has achieved a number of individual honors. He became a Spurs all-time record scorer earlier this season and continued continues to chase down Alan Shearer's all-time Premier League goal record, but he's yet to win a single trophy since making his Spurs debut, and that was in 2011. And sources have told the media that Kane, who has little over a year left on his contract, will discuss his future with the club at the end of the season, while Spurs are not keen on parting ways with the striker. Spurs will again have finished without silverware this season after being knocked out of the FA Cup and the Champions League, and the club are also without a permanent manager following the departure of Antonio Conte last month. It has been 15 months since Spurs won a trophy when they lifted the 2008 League Cup, and that was under the Spaniard Juan de Ramos. And the question now is, Harry Kane, is he going to stay and continue with Tottenham Hotspur for the foreseeable future? I don't think he's going to do that. I think he may just move away, and I hear Manchester United are interested in signing the English forward. That's not talking about Harry Kane. So, but I will follow up on the story and bring you up to speed on the latest concerning Harry Kane in weeks and months to come on the Sports Show as regarding his career and moving forward, and if he will continue with Tottenham Hotspur or if he may seek for pastures anew. Now to Europa, now to league fixtures across Western Europe. There are matches to be played this weekend. We'll focus on 5 major leagues: France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and England this weekend. Let's start with France. In France, Angers is expected to take on PSG this Friday night. It's Auxerre taking on Le Lens. Is at home to Monaco tonight. Watch out for Sunday fixtures. On Sunday, there are 7 fixtures in the French Ligue 1. Reims will take on Strasbourg. Ajaccio is at home to Brest. Lorient will take on Toulouse. Nantes is at home to Troyes. Nice will take on Clermont-Foot. Montpellier is at home to Rennes. Olympique Lyon at the Stade Jolon will host Olympique Marseille. That's with a star match for this weekend. It is on Sunday. Olympique Lyon taking on Olympique Marseille. We'll be watching out for that, and on Monday we'll give you the results of those matches. Let's go quickly to Germany. In Germany, this Friday night, Augsburg will take on VfB Stuttgart. Then on Saturday, watch out for the matches on Saturday. Bochum will take on Wolfsburg. Is Hertha Berlin playing Werder Bremen. Elsewhere, Hoffenheim will host FC Cologne, and Bayern Munich will be on the road to Mainz 05. Borussia Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park will take on Eintracht Frankfurt, and Bayer Leverkusen at the Bay Arena will take on RB Leipzig. Watch out for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Expected to host Union Berlin. Those are the fixtures in Germany, the 8-team league out there in the German Bundesliga. In Italy, it is called the Serie A, and the winner is said to have won at the Scudetto. Friday night football returns. Verona will take on Bologna. On Saturday, Salernitana taking on Sassuolo. Lazio at the Stadio Olimpico will take on Torino. Sampdoria playing Spezia. Empoli is at home to Internazionale. Monza will host Fiorentina. Udinese is at home to Cremonese. AC Milan at the Giuseppe Meazza will take on Lecce, and at the Stadium della Paz in Turin, Juventus will welcome Napoli. That's the star match for this weekend, while Atalanta will clock off at the weekend with a game against AS Roma. In Spain, Espanyol is at home to Cadiz. Osasuna will host Real Betis. Almeria is at home to Athletic Bilbao. Watch out for Real Sociedad taking on Rayo Vallecano. Real Valladolid will host Girona. Real Madrid will take on Celta Vigo, as you're seeing on your screen. Elche will take on Valencia. Barcelona will play Atletico Madrid. That's the star match of this weekend. Barcelona Atletico Madrid at the Nou Camp. Real Mallorca is at home to Getafe, and at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Sevilla will take on Villarreal. Is another cracker in the Spanish La Liga this weekend. Watch out for Sevilla taking on Villarreal. In England, let's come to England. Arsenal will take on Southampton tonight, and if Arsenal wins tonight, Arsenal will qualify automatically for the Champions League and will make their return back to the Champions League for the first time in about 5 to 6 years. So Arsenal Southampton tonight at the Emirates Stadium. Win for Arsenal, automatic qualification to the Champions League. On Saturday, Fulham will take on Leeds United. Brentford will take on Aston Villa. Crystal Palace is at home to Everton. Leicester City at the King Power Stadium will take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. At Anfield, Liverpool will play Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth the Vitality Stadium will host West Ham United, and Newcastle United with Isak and a whole lot of other players will take on Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League, and that match is coming up on Sunday. Chelsea's game and that of Manchester City called off due to their involvement in the Europa League. And before we go, let's just serve you the results of our matches that played in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Manchester United are out, but before then, let's tell you that AS Roma defeated Feyenoord by 4-1 on aggregate. Roma qualified 4-2. Sevilla defeated Manchester United by 3-0. Youssef and Nesri scored in the 8th minute of the game, and Loic Bade scored in the 47th, and El Nesri got his second of the game in the 81st minute of the game, and he ended 3-0, and it was an error-strewn game, one from Harry Maguire and one from David De Gea, and Sevilla defeated Manchester United by 3-0 and qualified 5-2 on aggregate. Sporting Lisbon played out a 1-1 draw against Juventus, but on aggregate, Juventus have progressed 2-1, while Union St. Gillois lost 1-4-2 by Leverkusen on their own patch, and are now out of the competition, and they lost 5-2 on aggregate. So now confirmation that AS Roma, Sevilla, Juventus, and Bayer Leverkusen are now through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. So that's the way it is now, and that's the story about the Europa League. While for the Champions League, you talk about Manchester City are there, AC Milan are there, Real Madrid are there, and they're all getting into the quarterfinal, into the semi-finals of the Champions League. Well, that's the size of the show this morning, the Friday edition of our Sports Today. Thank you so much for being here all through the week, Monday down to Friday. From the entire team for Sports Production, my name is Ike Nwokere, and I urge you to have a lovely weekend, but keep sporting. Bye-bye now.